So now we will start with task number 1. We need to write a program that calculate and classify the rainfall average for 4 weeks. Firstly, we need to read the rainfall rates for each day in the 4 weeks and store them in 2-dimensional array. So now we have here 4 weeks, and we have for each week 7 days. And we want to enter the rainfall inside this 2-dimensional array. This array is, as you can see, it is here. It is 4 by 7. 4 by 7 2-dimension array. So we are going to calculate the average for each week here based on the value that I have entered inside this 2-dimension array, and based on the average I will print high or medium or low. So if the average is greater than 6, I will print high. If the average is less than 6 and more than 3, I will print medium. And if the average is less or equal to 3, I will print low. So this is our first task for today. What we are going to do in this case, we are going to declare or define 2-dimension array and save the rainfall value inside this 2-dimension array, assuming that the rows are for the week and the columns are for the days. So this is our array here. And we want to go over each week. Okay, and find the average for each row, and based on the average for this value, we will print high or medium or low. Now, for this array, are we going, guys, to access this array row by row or column by column? Are we going to access the array here row by row or column by column? What do you think? Or column by column? Yes, I will see the chat now. Yes.
Column by column.
Column by column. Why column by column, Hussein? Why? We are going to calculate the average for each week, صح? So
yeah, because each week has one column.
Yes, but how we are going to calculate the average? Are we going to find the sum of this value in the column here, or this value?
No, the value in column.
Here?
Yeah. No.
In the row.
Yeah.
In the row, yeah, but they are in the column. But we are accessing what? The row, right? We are accessing the row here. So because we are accessing the row, we are going over this 2-dimension array row by row. So this is your how should your code be? Your code should access the array row by row, and for each row we need to find the average, and based on the value I will print high, medium, low. So I will print for week 1 high, for example, high or medium or low. So I will leave you with this task for 15 minutes. Let's say 20 minutes, okay? And because it is a 2-dimension array, and after that we will, inshallah, show you the solution. So please try to solve task number 1. 2-dimension array, yes. No, we don't need now to use this one, okay? You can write this one. It is the week. This is a hard-coded one. يعني راح تطبع you will print it as a string week with the row number plus 1. Okay, I understand your question. No need to find the row here and go to this week, okay, and find the rows here and search for this array. لا هذه just for description here, okay, description. So no need to create this array here until if I ask you to do so. But for now you need to print the week which is the row number plus 1. So you will print week 1 which is week plus row plus 1. That we mean by this week, and the R will be for the first time 0. So if I want to print the average for week 1, I will print week with R, which is in the first iteration, it will be 0 plus 1 always. We mean by this R plus 1, okay? And it will be printed like this, week hash number 1. Then you will print the classification based on the average, high or medium or. So this one, or this is a hard-coded string. Okay, don't create another array. Hard-coded string. Okay, you will generate this string just to show the user what are these outputs about. Hard-coded string. Okay, no need to create array and search for the index based on this. I know what you have thought about. This will take you a lot of time. No, just define the two-dimension array and print the week plus the and beside the week print out the number based on the row number. بالاعتماد على رقم الصف انت بتطبع week 1 week 2 week 3. So the row number started from 0 بس أنا بدي يطبع week 1 فلازم أنا يعني I have to increase the row number by 1 and so on. So please start with this task and we will go to next task after finishing this one. Anyone has finished this task? Focus on the two-dimension array. If you have written some lines of code, that would help you, inshallah. It is just like studying. You are studying now. Okay, you are reviewing your lecture. Okay, so please do your best in the lab. I think the lab is important as the lecture. So now I cannot see any participant. So I will show you the solution quickly, and it's to refresh your memory now. To refresh your memory, I will go to the solution. Now I am again back, and I have shared the screen. I hope the solution now is seen by you. I hope that you can see the solution. Now here we are entering the value, or we are defining the two-dimension array, which is rainfall, as we have mentioned here. We have our two-dimension array, which consists of 4 rows and 7 columns. And in this for loop, we have entered the value. We have read the value inside the array, and now we are saving the value inside this array. I think this is easy. You just reading the value and save this value inside your array. Now here, we are writing writing here week number something, then we just read the value here. So the first of all, you will this statement will print week number 1, then inside this for loop we will print week number 2 and week number 3 and week number 4. So as you can see here is the I, which is referred to the index of the value. So I have used it by number as number. I have used this variable as number for the week. So when I equals 0, I will print week 1, week 2, week 3. And I have here filled the array. Now here I am accessing the array row by row. How I'm doing that? J is for the row and I is for the column. And don't forget that we have started from 0. So, and here we have write it less than and less than for the inner. Here is the outer loop, the outer one, and here is the inner one. Now I am accessing the value row by row. Anyone can tell me how did I know that I am accessing the value here row by row, not column by column? How did I know that؟ شباب كيف عرفت انه اني انا الان قاعد بعمل access للelements. I am accessing the elements row by row. How did I know that? Not column by column. Anyone can tell me? I need an answer. I have explained this in the lecture.
لأن الأوتر لوب تبدأ بالكولمز.
لا هذا مش كولوم، هذا روز. من السطر الرابع من الصف الرابع للرقم 3 كذا الأري صح؟ يلا بس خليني أذكرك ممكن confused. هذا السطر الأول، الثاني، الثالث، الرابع. And this is 0 to 7. We have here 0 to 6, sorry, because we have 7 days starting from 0 to 6. لا مو هذا الجواب. Yes, other than عبد الله، ما في حد غير other than. يلا شباب. I made mistake, you made mistake, everyone made mistakes. We are learning here. It is a learning process. Sometimes I say things I did myself. I do mistakes. It's okay. We are learning together. It is a learning process. It is not just about giving you the information. I don't consider anyone, or I don't consider this in participation if someone answered or made a mistake. No, actually. I want all of you to participate. Okay, this is just in order to make you understand and focus on the lecture. This is why I am asking question actually. I didn't consider this in participation or in the grades. No, just we want to make sure that we are understanding what we are talking about. So if I made a mistake or a student made answered said the wrong answer and whatever, it is okay. If someone answered wrongly, it's no problem in this. It is a learning process شباب. أنا هذا عندي قناعة فيها يعني learning process. We mean by learning, we are learning from each other. Okay, sometimes some students maybe pay my attention to some lines of code that we should enhance this code or write the code in another way. So it's okay. This is just to encourage you to participate, يعني نشجعكم على المشاركة. هنا why I'm starting row by row. Here is the row number صح؟ هيو J. Here is the column number. فهذا دائما the first index is above the row. The second index is above the column. Or is for the column. So the first index is for the row and the second index is for the column. So what I'm doing here, as we mentioned in our lecture, the outer loop J is the first index. So if I have started with the outer loop and the outer loop variable was the first one, that means I am accessing this array row by row. row by row. اوكي انا قاعد بعمل access لها row by row. ليش؟ why? Because I will start from 0 0 0 1 0 2 لا تخربطوا 0 3 صح. هذا الجي، هي الجي هو الفوق هو الاوتر وهذه الانر. اوكي ف don't forget this. يعني I will clear the drawing now and go. So now I am just accessing this, as I said, row by row, and in each row I am finding the sum. I will find the sum. Okay, and directly inside the directly here, after finding the sum here, don't forget this is the inner loop. I will print out sum diff by 7, which is the average, and I will check here. If the average is greater than 6, I will print greater or equal. I will print high with the average. If the average is less than 6, I will print medium, and so on for the loop. So don't forget, this is the for loop, the outer one. This is the inner one. Okay, this is the inner one. And each time I will find the sum here. I will find the sum here. I will print the average, check and print, check and print, check and print the value. And here, as you can see, the loop, the for loop, the outer for loop here. شايفين كيف هذه بتشتغل بندخل sorry, I will clear the drawing. Here the outer loop. هذه for reading the value خلصنا منها. For I هذه for reading الcalculation. فهذه هي outer loop بتاعتي. Each time I go over the row, I will go over the row, I will find the sum. Finding the sum, I need to iterate the elements here one by one. 1, 2, 3, 4. After going through these elements, I will find the sum. Inside the outer loop, I print high or low or whatever inside the outer loop. So for j, when j equals 0, for example, when in week 1, I might print the following high, the following words, high or medium or low, based on the average, and so on. I will go again and again. So here is these statements are related to the outer loop, but this one, because I am accessing the elements row by row, this statement is for finding the sum of these elements. So I will find the sum here after using the inner loop. After that, I will complete with my outer loop and find the average, and based on that, I might print high or medium or low. So this is the code. This is the solution. I will leave you with the solution. Okay, and we will go over inshallah our next task inshallah in 5 minutes. In 5 minutes inshallah. Just take a look, try to understand what is written here and how we have used the outer and the inner loop. Yes.
قصد الاي ليش بلس اي ليش مو اي بلس
Here it does not make any difference here inside the for loop for now, because this statement here will start with 0 and it will not be increased until you finish the for loop here. Okay, until you finish the for loop here. If you have added I plus plus, it will not make any difference, because this statement also will be ended after exiting this for. So I will not be increased. يعني I ما راح تزيد عندك لأنه راح يعتبر كل هذا عبارة عن one statement. اوكي لسه ما انتهى منها. فراح انت تبدأ من 0. اوكي عادي جدا. فهنا ما راح يأثر. This will not make any effects, because all of these statements will be considered as one statement. فما راح تزيد الI at all. It will start from 0 here. Okay, 0. So here I will be 0. When you add 1, it will be weak 1. And in the second iteration, I will be 2. Okay, because this is why we're adding 1 here. So if you have added the 2 pluses here or here, it is the same. It's shared with you. I will go to task number 2. Task number 2. Write a program will copy elements of an array into a new array with reverse order. And you will print the value after reversing the order of this two-dimensional array. So what you are going to do here, you are going to reverse the order of this array here. ننعكسها يعني. So now you have, here is the first array. You are going to enter the value of the first array, and then you are going to reverse the array. Reverse the arrays. Here is task number 1. So you are going here, but it's not a 2-dimension actually. Why we have 1 dimension? It is 1 dimension. Now guys, here we are going to enter the array, save the array in the reverse order in second array, and then print it out in reverse order. So this one is a 1-dimension array. 1-dimension array. Okay. So please try to solve this. To solve this, we are going to write a program that copy the value, okay, copy the value from the first array to the second array in reverse order. Then print the value for the new reverse array. Okay, this is a 1-dimension. يلا who solve the assignment, this will be easy for them because they can find the relation between things now. Okay, now please go ahead and try to reverse the array. This is easy one. This is an easy one. Okay. So the array elements will be like this. I have just modified the output for task number 2. We are just creating an array and we are finding the reversing the values inside the second array. I hope the first task is clear to you. Somehow difficult. I will repeat for task number 1. You will go for through this two-dimension array row and row, and you will find the average for each row and print out whether it is high or low or medium. Now for task number 2, we need to define or declare two arrays, original one and the reverse one, and copy the elements from the first one to the second one in reverse order. So think about finding a relation between them. How I'm going to find a relation between them. And you should think in this way. I hope in the drawing هذا إن شاء الله. يعني أنا لازم أفكر بطريقة take this. Sorry, I will clear again. For task number 2. This one should be here, and this one should be here and here, and this one should be here, and finally this one should be here. So I am reversing the array, them. So I need to find the relation between this index, for example 0, and how to convert it to 3. And how I'm going to convert 3 and put it in 0 in the same form. In one for loop, I need to check how to convert the indexes here from 3 to 0 or from 0 to 3 and so on. This is for task number 2. It's supposed not to take you more than 3 minutes, let's say 5 minutes, inshallah, and we will go to the solution. Think about this. And before I go to task 3, I want to pay your attention or draw your attention for the range 4, if you remember the range 1, the range 4, and how this range 4 is working, because in div C++ this for loop does not work. If you remember, we have talked about the range 1. In this for, I don't need to know the length of the array, and I need to access all the array elements, and I don't care about the indexes of this array or the length. So we have used another form of for, شكل آخر للfor, if you remember this. Now this for causes compilation error in C++. So I will show you that it works on other C++ compiler, because as you know, it is a version. These are versions of C, or there are versions of C++. And every time a new library and methods are added to the language. So inshallah, after this task, before I go to the next task number 3, I will show you a screenshot for this. Okay, now I will go to the solution quickly and clear the drawing. Here is task number 2 solution. Here is the trick. Here is the trick. Here I am reading the value, and here I am, or I have found a relation between I and J. When I equals 0, G will be equal array size minus 1. Array size is suppose that it is 4, for example. So I will start from 0 to 4. Now, I will, in this for loop, I will be 0, and J will be equal array size minus 1 in the first iteration, so it will be 3. Then in this loop, as you can see here, I am increasing I and decreasing J. هذه فيها minus, هذه فيها plus. So in the second iteration, I will become 1 and J will become 2, and so on. Now in the third iteration also, I will be increased. So I will become 2 and J will become 1. And for the last, it will become 3 and J will become 0. So this is how I solve this problem. If you remember, we have talked about this in the lecture, and we said this is applicable and can be done in C++, applicable, and it can be done using more than update statement inside the for loop, and initialize more than one value. So here I have initialized I to 0, and I have initialized J to array size minus 1. So in this for loop, I am using one condition, but I am using two update statements and two initialization statements here. Two initialization statements here. One for I and the second for J. Then I have reversed my array. And as you can see, after that, I have printed the array here. I have printed the original and the reverse one here. Using /t, if you remember, /t refers for tabs, and so on. So this is the second solution here. Just don't forget this relation and how I have used this for loop here by initializing two values, then increasing the I and decreasing the J. Yes, and after that I have saved these elements together, and then I have printed the value. I think Abdullah, yes Abdullah. Do you have any question?
دكتور.
Yes.
الحين ليه array size -1?
Array size -1. We have talked about this a lot actually. Yes, okay, why? Let's suppose that I have entered here size 4. طيب خليني just أسكر هذا وأرسم لك, okay? Just give me a second because I cannot draw. طيب 1 minute. Now, what is the size of this array, Abdullah, I think? What is the size of this array?
5.
Just 5 صح? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. هذا السايز. Okay. So السايز أنت عارف إنه 5 and you can enter here 5 value. طيب. الindex starting from 1 from what?
فهمت عليك من 0.
من 0 لكم؟ ل4 صح؟ فعشان كذا لما أنا أعمل when I want to access the array I'm starting from 0 in C++, not 1. So I will start here from 0 until array size. This is why I have here write it array size. Okay. بس أنت تقول لي طب لو أنا كتبت كذا array size or equal this is wrong. صح؟ This is wrong لأنه الاري size or equal الاري راح يكون 5 أنا راح أعمل access من 0 ل 4 ف this is why I have written it I less than ما كتبت I less or equal. أوكي إذا بدك تكتب I less or equal يعني I less than 5 so 5 will not be considered but if I have written it like this greater or equal I have to write array size sorry for the writing -1 واضحة الفكرة؟
ايه والله دكتور.
This is why. So now in some programming language I think Visual Basic the index if I am not wrong I think it's the index started from 1 but in C++ and most of programming language according to my experience, they all starting from 0. Okay, starting from 0. So here, الاري size -1 ليش أنا عملتها هنا؟ كده عشان أبدأ من كم؟ من 3. لو عندنا 5 مثلا أنا آسف لو عندنا 5 راح أبدأ من كم؟ راح أجيب الزيرو وأحطه في 4. أوكي؟ لو فرضنا انه السايز 5 راح ابدا 5 minus 1 which is 4 then I will write here 4. اوكي اذا كان عندي السايز مثلا 4 مش 5 زي ما شرحت قبل شوي راح يبدا هنا من array size minus 1 so راح يكون 3 هنا راح يكون 0. اوكي واضح هذه ف there is no index I cannot use an index j which is equal array size. Array size هنا راح يكون 5 والindex إذا كان الarray يعني consists of 4 elements or sorry الarray size راح يكون 4 وإذا الarray مكونة من 4 فراح يكون من 0 ل 3 ف I cannot write here 4 here. I have to write array size -1 so 0 to 3. This is why. Inshallah clear. I hope it's clear. Thank you, Abdullah, for this question. Now I will go to task number 3. But before I go to task number 3, I will share with you a screenshot to show you the range 4. Because this range 4 does not work in diff C++. Maybe someone tried to solve this, but they were not able to compile it. So I will share you the screen here, and I will share with you the solution again. Sorry, I am sharing now. Just quickly. I don't know if it is clear. Can you see the screen now, guys? The image?
Yes, Doctor.
Yes.
Yes. I have used just online C++ compiler. Okay. So here is the compiler that I have used because this for loop does not work in diff C++. Try to write this for in C++. This is the range 4, if you remember the range 1, which is start from 4. It is just like this 4. والله هذا البلاك مع الريد حلو والله كويس. هنا int val بس and just maximize the font كذا ونقطتين نم. هذه اللي تكلمنا عنها بتتذكر في إحدى المحاضرات. here for int val نقطتين نم. This is the range 4. This one does not work on div C++. I have tried it on the version that I am using and it makes syntax error. Okay, it makes or cause a compilation error actually. So I have tried this on this online compiler C++, and it worked with me successfully. As you can see, here is the output. I have defined array of size 5, then I iterate the value using a val value. So now val will now the value here, as you can see, I have defined int val. So I am going, please, I am telling the compiler to go over the array num and print the value of each element. So if you remember, I am now printing the value for each element. So this for mean for, in other words, or this for mean for each, it's just like this, for each element inside the array. Inside the array, do the following. Print the value, find the sum, whatever. I am printing just quickly. I have printed the value quickly just to make sure that for is working on C++ compiler, but this for does not work on div C++ compiler, at least the one that I am using. Okay. So don't forget this. Just I want to remind you about this for, and you can see here it's the output. Don't forget this means for each element inside the array. For each element inside the array. Now I will stop share and go to task number 3. Okay. Now for task 1, task 2. Now we will go to task number 3, and I will give you in this a lot of time actually. Here we are going to compute. We have 2-dimension array. I am going first of all to find the sum of the left diagonal, then I am going to find the sum of the right, then the lower, then I'm going to print the upper diagonal matrix. What do we mean by this? As you can see here, the array of size 4 by 4. We mean by that, just I will draw quickly, because sometimes drawing is easier than talking. Here we have 4 by 4. Don't forget that means starting from 0 to 3, 0 to 3. Okay. I hope that. Now, I hope in the drawing, compute sum of the left diagonal. هذا السم شباب. الليفت هذا. وجد لي مجموع هذا الاليمنتس. يعني انت you are going to enter value, print the value عشان تشوف نتائجك صحيحة أو لا. Then you are going to print the sum here. Okay. Now, the sum for the left one. The sum for the right one is 14. 4 plus 7 plus 2 plus 1. 11 to 13, 14. So this is the right one. Then you are going to print the value here. Okay. this one. And after that, you are going to print the value here. I hope I am correct here. 6 is not included. So these are the value here, and these are the value here. So first of all, you want to define a two-dimensional array, and the size of this two-dimensional array should be 4 by 4. Then you are going to find the sum for the first one, the left diagonal, and you will find the sum of the right diagonal. Then you will find you will print the array, this array lower than the diagonal, and you're going also to print. You are also going to print the values above the diagonal matrix. So here is the matrix. I will clear the drawing because this might confuse you. هذا هنا وشوف راح تطلع المجموع الأول for the first summation. Here the sum for the left is 16. The sum for the right is 14, and here is 16. This one is 16, and this one is 14. Then you are going to find the value here, starting from 5. أيوة كده عشان أنا أرسمها وأوضحها كمان. Then you are going to print out the value, find this row, this table. Okay. So think about this and try to solve this. Inshallah, we will go over the solution. It's not easy, actually. You need to think about this, and I hope someone will solve it. I don't say it is easy, and you might need more time, but try to define at least the two-dimensional array, and at least solve the left and the right diagonal, and we will, inshallah, after 30 minutes. Okay, guys, I will go to the solution, and I just focus on the relation between these elements and how I have put or written this relation between the indexes using for loop. So we will start with the left, then we will start with the right, then we will start with the lower and the upper one. Now I am in task number 1 solution. I hope that you can see the task 3 solution. I will draw again to show you what's happening here inside the code. So now here I am going to find the sum of the left one. The sum of the left. Here is the left. Here is 0, 0. This is 1, 1, right? This element is 2, 2. So the index or the location for the first element is 0, 0. The location of the second is 1, 1. And the location of the third is 2, 2. And the location of the fourth is 3, 3. Now I'm going to find the sum of these elements. The sum of these elements. So what is the relation here شباب؟ شو الحل هنا؟ كيف أنا أقول له بدي فقط أجمع الإليمنت 0. I want to find the sum of the element index or the element location 0, 0 or 1, 1 or 2, 2 or 3, 3. How can I find or solve this in the code. So as you can see here, I have written here, I made a disk checking. Maybe I have used a piece of paper. And disk checking now. Here, the element 0, 0, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. So now here, what is the relation here? Now I here is the row. Let's suppose I is for the row and j is for the column. So this is I, 1, 2, 3, 4, and j for the column. So now I and j, what is the relation between R and j here? They are what? They are greater than each other or they are equal to each other? What do you think, guys? They are what? Now it seems you have slept.
Equal.
Equal, they are equal, right? So they are, I know my question is easy, but I want to make sure that you are following up with me. This is why I know, and I don't think that I am asking a very easy question. I know you know the answer, but I want you to follow, make sure that you are following with me. So this is what I have done here in the code. Where's the code here? I have checked. If I equal j, then find the sum. This is the solution. This is for the first one. Okay. If I equal j, then I found the sum of the first for the left diagonal one. Now for the right, think about this. I will clear the drawing for the right now. Where is the right one? Here is the right one. So as you can see here, we have used rho minus 1 and I plus j. Okay, rho minus 1 and I plus j. Let's just trace the code here. First of all, I will draw my, I hope in الاري شوي clear. واحد اثنين. أنا راح أجمع هذا كم؟ هذا 0 3 وهنا 1 2 وهنا 2 1 وهنا 3 0. هاي العلاقة. فالآن I want to find here a relation between I want to write a for loop that put this number here together and this number together and this number together and the last together. So for the first iteration, for example, I am going to use I and j. Now I is equal 0 and j also is equal 0. So 0 plus 0 is 0 here. So I am going to check if 0 equal rows. Rows 0 3, okay, 1 2 2 1 and 3 0. So I want to make sure that these indexes are correct. So this is my if statement. I'm going to check I plus j. I first of all is 0 and we will start with j. هل ال I plus j which is 0 equal row minus 1 at first of all. So here we are going to check if row minus 1. Give me seconds, please. We are going here to check if I زائد j equal row minus 1. Okay. Now, when I زائد j equals 0, rows will become here row minus 1. Now the row here, it will start, the row is 4 here. The row is 4. So for instance, now for example, I will do my summation here. When I plus j become equal row minus 1, I equals 0, and j will be iterating from 0 to columns, which is 4, which is 3, sorry. Because we are writing here, we have written here less than. As you can see here the rows, and here is the column. So I plus j, I will check if I plus j 0 equal to rows minus 1. First of all, a row will become, row will become a 3, then j will be changing here. Row will become 3. So I will check when I plus j equal row minus 1. Now j is changing. First of all, I is equal 0 and j is equal 0. So this result will be 0. And when I equal 0, j will become 1. So the result will become 1. Then 2, then 3. When I plus j equal 3, here, it will become equal 3. صح؟ لما I plus j لما j تصير 3 هنا 3 plus I, which is 0, the result will become 3. So when j equal 3, when j plus I equal 3, equal rows minus 1, which is also 3, I will do my summation here. I will check if it's true. I will find the sum for 3 and 0, because g now is 3. G plus I means 3 plus I equal 3 plus 0 equal 3. Is it equal rows minus 1? Yes. Now the rows is 4 minus 1, which is 3. So now I am going to put to find the matrix of I and j and put it inside the sum to find the sum here. So I will be in that case 0 and j will be 3. So here I am calculating 0 and 3, which is the first one here. Now in the second iteration, I will become 1. I will clear the drawing again. In the second iteration, I will become 1. And I will start with j. J will start from 0 again to 3. Okay? Again to 3. So I will draw again. We have finished this one. And we are going to check this one, which is 1 and 2. Now in the second iteration, for the outer loop, I will become 2. Now I here is equal to. I will start again for inside from j equals 0 to 3. Now I will check when I plus j equal rows minus 1. This is always 4. This is always 3. صح؟ هذا ثابت لأن الروز هي ثابت. 1 هي قيمة ثابتة، فهذه دائما كم؟ 3. So هذه ثابتة ما تتغير. This is a fixed one. Okay, or like a constant. It is fixed. Now I will check if I plus j, I equal now 1, plus 0, 1. Okay, I will not do anything. 1 plus 3, 1 is not equal to 3. So 0 plus 0, it does not equal to 3. 0 plus 1 is not equal to 3. 0, sorry, I made a mistake. Now I equal 1, so I equal 1 in the second iteration. I will calculate I, which is 1. 1 plus 0, is it equal to 3? No. 1 plus 1, is it equal to 3? No. 1 plus 2 equal to 3. I equal 1 and j equal 2. So 1 plus 2 equal to 3. Yes, that's good. So now I am going to save to find the sum when j equal 2 and I equal 1. Because I here is the value inside the iteration in the outer 4, and here is j is changing. So when I equal 1 and j equal 2, 1 plus 2 equal rows minus 1, 3. So j will be 2. The condition is true. Now I will take the index of 2 and 1, 2 and 1, and put it inside the sum. So the index of rows 1 and column 2. So here I will put this value inside the sum. As you can see here, as we have said before, 0, 3, and we have here 1, 2. Now the same for 2, 1 also, trace the code, and for the third one, which is 0, 3. So I want to focus on the following here. This one is always 3. Rows minus 1, because rows equal 4 and column equal 4. And this one is changing. When this is true, I will do my summation. If you trace the code, when I equal 0, j will become 3. So when I equal 0 and j 3, it will be equal 3. So I will do my summation. When I equal 1 and j equal 2, I will find, I will draw again here 0 and 3 true. عملت السميشن وهنا 1 و 2 find السميشن. وبرضه when I equal 2 و j equal 1 هتكون تساوي 3 equal 3 here 2 and 1. And finally for 0 and 3, because 0 و 3 sorry 3 و 0, 3 and 0, I made 3 and 0, 3 and 0 also equal 3. So I will take 3 and 0 and put them inside the sum. Okay, here. So this is the relation between this is how I found a relation to find the right diagonal one. Now for the lower here, we have the lower and the upper. I will clear this one. I hope this is clear to all of you. Now we have also the lower and the upper here. If you look, you are going to print the value. We just here made our comparison. We found the lower diagonal element. هذا قاصدين في هذا احنا العناصر اللي هنا. Okay, هذه العناصر. When I try to make trace the code, we found a lower diagonal when I أكبر من الج. فما دام الاي اكبر من الجي اطبع. بس اذا if I became less than j or less or equal ما تعمل شيء. اوكي ما تعمل شيء. فخلينا نشوف كيف هذه العلاقة بس بشكل سريع. هذه we have here the following and I am comparing I plus j. Okay. When I greater than j, in the first element here, 0 and 0. In the first element, 0 and 0. هل ال I greater than j شباب؟ My question is, if in the first element, هل ال I أكبر من ال j؟
No.
أكبر؟
No.
No. إذا ما راح أعمل شيء. طيب هنا لما تصير 0 1 هل الاي اكبر من الجي؟ لا صح؟ نو. اذا هنا ما راح اجمع. بدنا نشوف كيس فيها جمع. نشوف هذه هنا الاي 1 الجي 0 صح؟ هنا 1 و0. خلينا اكتب هنا 1 و0. هل الاي اكبر من الجي؟
Yes.
1 يس. اذا هذا راح يجمع تنضاف للجمع. هذا صح. راح اضيف لك هذه. طيب بروح على الثاني مثلا ما بدي اكمل I will not continue بس just to make you understand. الثاني راح تكون هنا 1 1. هل الاي اكبر من الجي؟ لا صح؟ ما راح اجمع هنا لانه equal 1 1 ما راح اجمع. هذا كله ما راح ينجمع ولا هذا. يعني انا بشطب عليه قاعد. now لما الاي تصير 2 هل ال 2 اكبر من 0؟ نعم. هل ال 2 اكبر من 1؟ نعم. ولكن لما 2 equal 2 لا. هنا 2 خطأ وهنا خطأ. اوكي. اذا الان جمعت هذول الاثنين باقي هذا طبعا لما الاي equal 3 الاي equal 3 هل 3 اكبر من 0؟ نعم. is 3 greater than 1؟ yes. is 3 greater than 2؟ yes. here 3 greater than 3؟ no. فانا كذا شو عملت؟ شطبت هذا كله وجمعت هذا and found the summation for this. الآن العكس the last question العكس. بدل ما أعمل I greater أوكي شو بعمل؟ less than. يعني وين هي؟ هنا greater than هذه لهذا والأبر اللي هو less than. هذا يعني هذا اللور اللي هو فيه greater than وهذا الأبر اللي نستخدم فيه less than. less upper اللي هو less than. هذا upper. sorry for this upper for. So this is our lab for today. I hope. I think this lab makes you wake up actually. Yeah. I know it is not easy. Just we want to help you to just solve a problem. And as you can see, I could not solve this problem without using disk checking. I suppose this is a paper and I am drawing on a paper. Okay, and after that you can maybe write your algorithm. So here, if you remember, I just figure out what is required from this program, and I have do my disk checking, and I have checked the indexes and the data, then I came up with a solution. So it is just like a disk checking. It is just a way to solve a problem. Sometimes I need a piece of paper. Now, if I tried to explain this without drawing, it would be too difficult to me and to you to clarify the idea. So sometimes you need to use papers for problem solving and disk checking. Okay. Now that's all from me, from my side. Do you have any question, guys?